Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. I am Fisher, your host, featuring Chris McCarty. He can sing, I can't, so why do I do the opening? Welcome to the Wake.Show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in our sponsor for the first. You know what may be kind of awesome is I was just thinking in my head. I don't know. You make the call on this, but as you just keep playing that tune, I'll just make a real quick setup to the show, and just go boom. Here's Mr. Chris McCarty. Da da da. I like that. I like the way because otherwise it's just the sound of my own voice. We all know how annoying that could be. So, ladies and gentlemen, today on the Wake.Show, Mr. Chris McCarty, we've got some songs to play for you, and also really looking forward to the discussion today in advancing one of the hot topics in America right now, and that's what's going on the border. Chris and I just had a fantastic conversation with Cords Owen, and it gave us some perspective. He's a history buff, and it gave us some perspective, so we'll be talking about that today, and some other fun stuff that is in the news. But first, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris McCarty.
I've been really trying, baby, to hold back this feeling for so long. When it feels like I feel in the air, come on, oh, come on, ooh, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar, let's get it on. We're all sensitive people with so much to give. Understand me, sugar. Oh, but since we've got to be here, let's live. I love you because there's nothing wrong with me loving you. Baby, no, no, no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong. The love is true. Oh, baby, yeah. Don't you know, sweet and wonderful this life can be. I'm asking you, baby, to get it on with me. Yeah. I ain't gonna worry, ain't gonna push you, baby. So come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Stop beating round the bush. Hey, hey, get it on. Threatening you, babe, I wanna get it on. You don't have to worry if it's wrong. Hey, spirit moves you, let me groove you. Let your love come down. If you believe in love, let's get it on. Let's get it on, baby. You give me good feelings, oh yeah. I feel sanctified. Let's get on, Chris. Let's rock it.
Man, I am just enjoying the show. I forgot I was even a part of it, Chris. I'm sitting back and all of a sudden you sit here talk. Oh yeah, hi everybody. And I forgot we're doing a show today. I thought I was just sitting here. I was on the beach listening to some music. Chris McCarty, ladies and gentlemen.
Marvin Gaye.
All right, welcome to the Wake.Show, and thank you once again, Single Source Insurance, for being a part of this. Make sure your next quote, you call Single Source Insurance. Look them up online, singlesourceins.com. And, you know, the main reason that you want to look them up, it's not because they're the cheapest one in town, because they're not the cheapest one in town. They'll match most anybody. Sometimes they're a little bit more. But where you are going to be thankful is when you finally need them. All right. And that's where Single Source will blow away the competition. So thank you so much, Single Source, for being a part of this. Chris McCarty, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm well. How are you, brother?
All right. As soon as I turn on your microphone there, everything's just fine. Oh, man, I'm liking the way the camera looks there.
Hey.
I finally got you right. Man,
I've always been right.
All right. I moved the light off the table there, so it's not coming from underneath. Got it over there, and this other light added. I feel so proud.
You're right. It's a proud moment.
I'll stay hidden over here in the shadows.
There you go.
Me and the Single Source guy. All right. So, welcome today. Before we get into some of the topics of the day, I want to pass on a picture of Chris's children for everybody to take a gander at here in 1 second.
Babies.
And before that, good morning from Jeff Godcharles, and Todd T says, "Sing it, Chris."
Hey, man.
So welcome. Please like and share, and we really appreciate the engagements as well there in the comment section. So
like and share.
So tell me about this picture.
So yesterday, I had a little, for those of you who didn't watch, sorry. Yesterday, it got a little emotional. If you're just tuning in, if you didn't see yesterday's show, you can scroll to about an hour and 10 minutes in or something like that, and you'll understand.
Yeah, it happened there at the end of the show. I was getting ready to wrap it up in my head, and things,
just naturally unfolded.
Yeah,
and in it, you asked me what I'm going to do, and I was upset. And I said I'm going to channel the energy to something positive. So I decided to go to the beach with my babies, and we made a huge city. I don't know if you can zoom in. We made a really huge city. If you go to the far left, there's a volcano. There's a Sandman next to the volcano. There's a big river that goes through everything.
Okay.
If you could scroll in even further, there are some houses. So there's the airplanes.
Oh,
the
I
airport.
see them now. I see the houses.
Right, the houses are here. We have Publix. We have a gym.
What?
We have.
Which one's the Publix?
So if you let me get up and show you. Right.
Well, you can point.
Can you see here? So like we go to. So here's the volcano, everyone. You can go back.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to zoom in on you.
Yeah.
Oh, over there. Okay, that's the volcano. Okay, we can see the volcano. Okay. So just northeast of the volcano.
And so here's the volcano. If you follow me here, here's the snowman.
Okay. Oh, the snowman's below the volcano. Okay.
So yeah. So then you have the river. The river goes all the way around this way. So that's Johnny, the river.
Okay.
We have the houses. These are
houses.
People live here.
All right.
We have the airport. So
oh wait, there's an airport. Okay, that's what that stuff is over there. Let's.
The minions and this is the airport. We have this is the gym right here.
Wait, where's the gym? Oh.
We made it, man. We were really into it. 3 artists slapping it, 3 artists together.
Oh, I should have got here.
There you go. Perfect.
That'll help.
All right. So then we have the gym right here.
I feel like we're in a like
psych class.
Yeah,
So here's the gym. We've got Publix is right here.
Elliot is suggesting you put in a Whole Foods to raise the property taxes.
This is Whole Foods right here, Elliot.
Oh, okay.
Attaboy. Look at you. I feel like Whole Foods. So we had Publix and Whole Foods. They were competing. Then Johnny, I forget what he was doing there. We're making a dam. And then this is just all the, I forget what this was. This is the tire marks. Johnny called it something. But yeah, man, this is the McCarty. This is what we do when we turn, took this cell phone off. We made a village. And then this is it. Yeah, this is us. So yeah, man. Yeah, daddy day, dude.
And that's my presentation. That's my presentation. Yeah, well, Mr. McCarty, it looks like once again you waited till the last second to put together your presentation. C+.
Dude, hey, listen, that's happened a lot growing up in high school.
Me too.
And it was the last second. I'm like, My teacher said I was the greatest crammer on the planet. Like, you could put it together.
Yeah, everything that was the night before. I mean, you know, I don't know what it is about being a procrastinator.
You know what it is? It's because it's more painful during it. You're like, gosh, it's gonna be such a pain. And then the moment hits where you're like, it's gonna be even more painful if I don't do it. And then it just becomes not painful. You just knock it out. And so the idea was like, let me just knock it out. So now I just try to head off anything that I have an issue with right away and don't wait and don't get in your head. I just try to run to it right away, man.
I've had multiple therapists in my life tell me that it's associated with perfectionism. So in your head, when I try to start it early, which seems right, because I don't know where to go. If I try to start a paper early, I'm just going to sit there and look at the paper. It's not until I'm pushed off the cliff or it's like my back's against the wall and I have to just pick a subject and go. That I can do it. And so people that get frustrated with me over the years would go, we'll just pick something in the beginning and go. I'm like, I'm sorry, my brain doesn't work that way. It
just doesn't, and they don't understand you, and they just and whatever. I've learned to just be like, whatever, you don't get me, then you just don't get me. It's not my problem.
And so one of the things, or so what they say, is that because the brain I want to write this perfect paper, and I can't. Right? The brain can't. I can't figure out how to do it, so it just shuts me down. I don't do anything.
I get that.
Until, of course, then your back's against the wall.
I get that. It's like me and writing some songs. You know, when I've the ones that came really easily and effortlessly, that I felt were really good songs, and then you're putting up the next song. You're like, man, it's got to be as good as this, and then you just and now I just can't because it's not as good. And what does this mean? And so I just have a bunch of half-written songs. So I understand. I empathize, man.
So is there somebody as a writer, do you have somebody that you consider a writing partner, or somebody like, say you could take a bunch of half songs to and go, hey man, let's just kind of mess around and see what happens?
Well, the first time, man, I used to write with Phil, but we don't really talk anymore, which is another situation. But
I love your life, Chris.
It's just what it is. But actually, I haven't written until writing with Chase and John Knight. And so now that's kind of like who I'm waiting to run back to and just say, hey, I got these half-written songs. What do you guys think? And actually, there's a group named Makuta, Doug Makuta. They're up-and-coming Makuta, M-A-K-U-T-A. My new favorite band. My son and I, we listen to, actually my daughter, we all listen to a song called Nah. So N-A, go to iTunes, N-A, Makuta. Catchy as all get out. They are signed with Timbaland, as we all know. Timbaland, Justin Timberlake's best album in my mind was the one that he did with Timbaland with Sexy Back. So he produced some albums, so their new album's coming out. But yeah, that's my new. We have a little rapport going. So they're gonna be coming in September, playing at the Hard Rock, and we're gonna work together and try to write some songs together. So that's my new little crew. So yeah, Makuta.
All right.
So that answered your question.
Yeah, it answered all of them.
The questions that you didn't even ask, I answered. So, yeah.
I wanted to show you something here. If you could turn your attention, to the screen.
Yeah. Oh, stop! It looks like Trump, right? Is that what they're trying to say? Is that what they're trying to say?
Well, you said. I mean, as soon as you looked at it, man.
Well, because
I mean, as soon as you looked at it.
That's funny. So what do they say?
An upstate, let's see, South Carolina man is enjoying his 15 minutes in fame and using it as a Bible teaching moment. Oh, well, let's read more about this. I didn't know there was a lesson that went along with this one today.
That's funny. The fact that I thought it too, like, come on. You saw it too, though, didn't you?
Yeah. Does that mean Trump is everywhere now?
Trump clouds.
All right. So this guy said he was driving home, because now I want to see how he's going to tie this into the Bible.
Right.
And some kind of a lesson. And and so he saw this. He was going past the blah, blah, blah. Quote, some of the kids started saying, hey, it looks like Trump. So I pulled over, took a picture. Then we just sat there watching it and talking about it. It was amazing. It was like Trump, oh my God, was watching over America. Coincidentally, he noticed the cloud was on Trump's 72nd birthday. He used the next 15 minutes as a teaching opportunity, telling the youngsters to pay attention to all of God's creations and always look up to the skies and the stars. Okay, that's a good lesson. I'm with it. I like that lesson. Wait, here we go. Hearken unto this, O Job. Stand still and consider the wondrous works of God.
I like it.
Dost thou know when God disposed them and caused the light of his cloud to shine? Mm-hmm. Dost thou know the balancing of the clouds and the wondrous works of him which is perfect in not?
I like it. Keep going.
I think that's all. That's the end.
Wait, what does it say? But his father urged him to post a picture. Okay, I didn't think anything of it, and they were spectacular pictures of hundreds of. That's just funny. There's a million Trump watching over America. Watching over America. All right, man.
All right, so we're in good hands, everybody.
The clouds have spoken.
I mean, what you can do? It's written in the clouds. All right. Speaking of which, yesterday's show was. How are you feeling after yesterday's show? I wanted to reconnect with you last night. But then I just didn't, and I just wanted to see how you were doing because yesterday you were pretty torn up as we signed off.
Wait, so what's the question?
How are you doing there? How are you feeling today after?
I say this. The next day is a brand new day. So I thank you. I don't know what I do, but I tend to leave things away from the past. Yesterday, I woke up really early this morning and went to the beach, took a little walk, and listened to some Dave Matthews. Watched the sun come up, even though it comes up on the other side, but still, light was coming up, and just was at peace, and that's it. So, wanted to start my day like that. So
very nice.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
I started my day with a cup of coffee and a couple of fried eggs with a piece of cheese between them. No carbs.
Hey.
Down another half a pound.
There you go.
I know we're not really supposed to weigh ourselves every day, but you can't help it. Especially when I've been dropping so much weight here in the first week.
Dropping them LBs. Yeah. The only reason that I think that you be careful of that is because the moment when it may slow down, I don't want that to discourage you, and then you all of a sudden start kind of going. It's not working because we're in a society that wants things to happen, want change right away. So just be careful of that. It might not be a bad thing to kind of temper it down to just do it once a week, and then you can see it. Because ideally, what I've learned and the stuff that I've read and whatnot is the human body can realistically lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's max. And that's just on the numbers game on the calories.
That's what they're saying. That's what they say is supposed to be healthy for you.
Right. So so if you're able to do that like once a week, make sure are you drinking a lot of water?
I am. Yeah, I would say
a gallon a day.
There's a gallon of tea right now in the fridge. As soon as that empties, I'm going to turn that into a jug. But right now, I know that my water intake is probably in the triple or more range than what my usual is, but I don't know if that's good enough. So
I would definitely say for 1 week, if you feel like it's slowing down, check your water intake. And then the following week, really say I'm a gallon today, a gallon today, a gallon today, and see the difference, because that really changes the game, man, more than anything. And I know Eric will agree to that. He'll attest to that. Water is monumental. I haven't been on my water thing. As you see, remember I used to be doing the gallon. I got off, and I could tell a difference just in that too. So just FYI.
All right, and thank you to Single Source Insurance for being sponsoring the first 15 minutes of the Wake.Show. Once again, if you are looking to be treated like a human being and not just like a piece of paper, then give them a call and get a quote from them. Chris is now a customer. Johnny Torrey, we found out yesterday, is a customer. And
I think Deirdre's going that route too.
Awesome. So and I see she's on the stream right now.
Is she? Of course.
Thank you for the likes and the shares. Those are absolutely huge. If you think if somebody pops in your head, a friend of yours, a family member of yours, you're like, you know what? I know they're at work and they're listening to podcasts, so they're got some stuff going on. Tag them or let them know that we've got something going on here and we're live and doing our thing.
Grown men crying on screen. Let them know if they want to see grown people cry and yell. And by all means.
It's an emotional day yesterday.
It was good. It was a good day.
I don't see. Oh, there's Nikki. Good morning, Nikki.
My girl.
So
come on, Nikki.
Yeah,
never letting us down.
I thank you so much for being here, Nikki. And I know yesterday I was a little worked up. I'm not as worked up today as I was, although I still feel very passionately that we should not be separating families. And I have a feeling that is going to come to an end very quickly. Get that behind us. Then we have to deal with bigger issues, right?
Can I interject?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the ebb and flow of life, man. A lot of you guys know that I'm going through a divorce, and we are divorced, but there's still more things happening around the corner. And James, my father figure, was like, just remember, after this, it's going to be something else. And then after that, it's going to be something else. And after that, it's going to be something else. So just put your seatbelts on. Just remember this. Think about it throughout time. There's always something. So let's try not to get too, stuck on one item. Just find it, settle it, acknowledge it. Like yesterday, I acknowledged it. You guys saw me get passionate. I got emotional, and now we move on to the next thing and kind of keep moving. So that's my thought.
There's an old saying that goes something to the effect of, you're either in it, coming out of it, about ready to get in it. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's the
SHIT.
Yeah. You're either in the shit, coming out of the shit, or getting ready to get into some shit.
There it is.
And that's true.
Do you know, and something that's funny, as an aside, I was in this church once, and it was really cool. And I love real, honest people. And the pastor, and it's not saying it's the SHIT, but the other one, he was saying, so think about sex. Either you're having sex or you're trying to have sex. And I was like, this is a great church he's being, and everyone laughed because it's just true, man. Like, so it's either you're in or out or on your way in, and either you're having it or you're trying to have it. So I'm just throwing there for you. So, yeah.
Halston just joined and says, Chris is awesome. I've talked to him a couple of times. I manage an AT&T store and sold him a phone, had some awesome conversations with him.
Dude, my dude, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, the one off Omerton.
Yeah,
my God, yeah, we run into each other a couple of times.
Well, welcome, man.
Thank you. Oh, can I also say this? Yesterday, I spoke to Sharon after the whole shindig that went down last night, and it was this is the thing I love about the show, and I haven't said this to you, and I'm just going to say it to everyone who's viewing. It really does feel like we're all like friends. I got on the phone with her, and just because we've been, emailing and we've been having a little banter here for the last couple of months, there was no odd moment. There was no dead time. I mean, we literally picked up and we're just talking about everything yesterday. What can we do? And it was excellent. So just that alone, I wanted to say to everybody, man, thanks for chiming in and talking and hanging. I can't wait to see everybody and talk. Just, it feels like we have a connection, and it's awesome. So I think that's a beautiful thing for humanity. So thank you. Thank you.
That's what we're trying to do here. It's you've heard me use the term build community, and it's not. I'm just trying to build numbers and some fan base, so I can go to somebody and go, hey, look, we got X amount of people, interacting, blah blah blah. It is no. I think that between Chris and I. Where our hearts are, and then the guy we've partnered up with, Chords, and his business acumen and his his
approach to life.
Yeah, and it's what he does in the community. I think we can have a huge impact. And I've told you guys this before. This isn't just you guys. Right now it's just sit back and enjoy and interact, have fun. But there will be those times like, all right, cool, we're a part of this. If you guys are available, we would love you to come out and support this. Those kinds of things will happen as we grow our community around here.
I think I would love to have everyone at one point. We have, whether it's Wednesday or one Wednesday a month or something like that, where we bring the faithful, someone just on the show with us, and we can sit with them and they can do the same kind of. I think that would just be so cool, man, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Like we had Brenton here a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I wasn't here then.
Oh, that's right. He was. Oh, okay. That's right. But
it's Easter Bay, not Omerton. Easter Bay, my guy. Okay, just don't worry about that. Just between he and I.
Oh, let's see here. Todd T. Duel. Oh, yeah. Have a great podcast, guys. Thank you, Halston. And the look on your face was priceless at that moment, Fish.
He has a lot of really good moments of these faces he draw, and very animated.
I will tell you that is one of the reasons why I designed this setup the way it was. That I'm right here is because one thing I never liked this about myself, Chris. I didn't like that I was a caricature of a human. No, I want to be.
Really?
I want to be. I want to be what's his face. I want to be Tom Brady like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The square jaw, blah blah blah. And I'm not. I'm more Chris Farley than I am. But I have learned that over the years that I guess I have expressions.
Yeah,
and
own it, love it. You're made this way. You're perfect.
And bright blue eyes. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick them right in the camera with this thing. And not only that, but it was also uncomfortable for me. I knew in this space that I was, coming from radio where I get to hide.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I get to hide them. Like, all right, well, this in order for me to kind of rip all that and just really put myself in that uncomfortable safe space, just put that camera right up there. So
I'll give you one, man. That's somewhat similar. I never really spoke about what I thought about life. I never posted on Facebook. I just didn't. So for me to do something like this is like years later, Chris McCarty band broke up, and I never told anybody what it was. I never went public with anything. I just kind of kept to myself. So for me, this is it's great for me to kind of, it forces me to just, you know, share my life experiences and what I really believe in life and kind of going. So it's new for me.
So a lot of the conversations you and I have had over the years are not conversations that you've had out loud or would be on your Facebook or from, oh, really? Well, I feel honored that I was part of that.
I have kept very quiet, very select few people. I always looked at it like I'm on stage. I say some things on stage and I leave, and I just kind of keep myself very private like that. But now this is, you've kind of pulling this out of me, which is great.
What makes you feel more comfortable? Like, this is what I call it, but I don't want this to offend you, because I call it letting my crazy breathe, because I do understand that some of the things, even though I feel pretty good about them, I do understand how they register to mainstream humanity, and so I go let my crazy breathe. So what is it that has made you feel comfortable to kind of let your crazy breathe?
Having children really helped.
That'll do it. They'll break you down every single time.
Just being, honest and really, when you it's just all the things, the divorce and your boy dying, just knowing that life is short, and then the support system that I have, the small amount of friends that I have that, they tell me, man, you really need to start talking about some of the things that you have something to say, and we need to hear this. So, looking at it and saying, you know what, maybe it's just part of what I need to be doing, is adding my contribution. And so people are digging it. You guys are coming in and watching, so that's always nice. So yeah, I guess it's just kind of all part of it.
So it's dropping some of the fear of, I guess, being judged for, saying certain things, or
I guess there's a part of me that, just like you, we talked about this before about ego, when you're 18 years old and you're in this huge band and there's like 2,000 people coming to watch you and girls throwing their underwear on their stage, you can start to think that you're the message and not the messenger, and your ego can get really messed up like that. And so, but also knowing deep down that I am a humble dude, that I want everyone to have, I want to share. I don't want it to be just about me. There's of course, something you fight that as an entertainer. I mean, I'm on stage, so there's a level of narcissism that you have, and so it's being able to balance that narcissism. There's the me and thinking it's about me, and then there's the understanding it's really about everybody around you. So being able to let that artist fly. Michael Jackson, he gets on stage, he can't help it, like it's just and then it just becomes that. And so me being able to settle in with myself and understanding and being able to balance that. And so now that I know what it is, and I'm okay with it, and I'm just very, very honest. Like, this is just what it is. So now it's just kind of time to be honest.
You were talking about having some of the faithfuls, those who've been watching a long time and always there in the comment section, stop by the show, maybe once a week. And Nikki goes, I'm not very interesting, but if I'm down in Florida, I'd love to stop and visit. LOL.
See, but why would you think you're not interesting? Everyone's interesting. There's the only normal people are people you don't know. You get close enough to somebody, you're going to see something. Everyone's got that quirky thing. Everyone does. Like I'm telling you, man. So don't shoot yourself in the foot and think that you're boring. And don't listen to take someone else's pill. Maybe someone put that in your head, a relationship that didn't work. Someone told you were boring, or you couldn't do this, and you just believed it. Don't even start with that. I don't want to hear it, Nikki.
And Nikki, as like a fun little fundamental law of entertainment, everybody has one story. Everybody has one story. You could take, this is what I believe anyway. I think you could take any person in the world, have a series of conversations with them, and the next thing you know, put together a pretty good movie or a television show.
Easily.
And one thing that stood out, Cats in the Cradle. Cats in the Cradle.
Cradle in the Silver Moon. Little Boy Moon and the Man in the Moon. Yep.
So I saw a promo on VH1 years ago, and it was, I don't remember exactly what it was, but this is what stood out. And it was him saying that everybody had one song. And I just, in that moment, that a light went off and went, you know what? He's right. Everybody does have one song in them. Everybody has one movie, one story in them. And that's about them, not just making up something either. That's about them. So, Nikki,
yeah, because life is interesting. Life is amazing. And you wake up one morning and you don't expect, at the end of the night, how many times have you woken up and been like, man, I didn't think it was going to end this way. I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, we all have those moments. So yeah, that's to say you're boring is to say life is boring, but no one's trying to die, because it's not that boring. It's really a lot of fun, and it's interesting, and there's always something new to learn. There's always something to share. So I don't ever want to hear you say that again, Nikki. I find that offensive.
All right, she says, thanks, guys, with a little smirk.
Is what it is.
All right, don't sell yourself short. So Nikki, that leads us to the extension of the conversation that we began yesterday, and that is permeating America right now. And that's what's happening on our southern border. This is not going to be the same conversation as yesterday. Mm-hmm. Remember, we don't have all the answers. Yep. I think Nikki even said yesterday, well, what's the solution? What's the solution? I don't know what the solution is for the entire border thing. I just know none of us want to see families broken up. So we got to figure something else out. That being said, I got to thank Cords, our partner in this.
Our guy.
And he came in because one of the things that's frustrating him was watching the news yesterday and seeing people liking this. Well, even I started going, doesn't feel right. And although I did not call this Nazi Germany, I put the innuendo out there and I said, this is not Nazi Germany, in 1920 something.
And there are millions of people who have said and felt the same way. Just for your defense, go ahead.
So, and that is based on how this is feeling right now and how these images are registering in my brain. But I'm not out there holding signs like you saw people on TV calling these things concentration camps and, Trump is Hitler and da-da-da-da. And one of the things that Cords pointed out to us, and he's a history guy, is he started laying out the Holocaust. He started laying out World War II. He started describing the scenes that he's seen himself with, if you're walking through parts of France and there's bullet holes still in the buildings from World War I. And the atrocities that happened during that time period, yeah, there's no comparison, okay? There's no comparison. Now, what people will tell you is, right, but we need to start ringing a bell now in case there is a slippery slope here, in case we are getting to the edge where next thing you know, it does look more like that. And I think that's probably where those who support Donald Trump and what's happening start to get offended, because now you're going, okay, well, then this guy is Hitler. And man, to draw those comparisons, and I know there's a lot of people scared in this country. And there has definitely been some, I don't like everything the guy does. I don't like a lot of what this person does. But I look at America and I look at our Constitution and I look at our government the way it's designed. I don't have to like everything that the president does.
Who does? Because name a president that every single person liked what they did. You won't find them.
I trust in what our founding fathers. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do.
You mean the old slave owners? Go ahead.
I trust. I do. I trust what Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, all of those minds put together back then to lay out the best chance for a democracy to take hold and to prosper. So if they did it right, you should be able to take the Tasmanian devil, not the devil, the Tasmanian devil, drop him in the Oval Office. And we should, we might get, it might be a rough ride, but we should be able to come out the other side just fine.
I say, brother, what if this is how it was supposed to be? What will be, will be. What if this is part of it? You know what I mean? Like, if you really go back to thousands of years, like there were 300,000 being killed here and millions being killed
6
here.
6 million there, and yeah.
I mean, it's like, and so maybe the last recorded one that we got was like Hitler, the last one that really did it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, well, there's been plenty since.
And I'm just, to that level, I'm just saying that, there's a change. What if this is part of it? If it's part of it, just hold on, let it play out. There's going to be something else coming around the corner. The max could be 8 years. Maybe it's the pendulum and it'll go back this way. Just, a lot of things, but what's really happening is uncomfortable. It's like, racism and whatnot has always been here. Now it just kind of feels like people are more openly about it. So, all right, so there's more honesty. What's really going on? So it's never really changed. So there's, it's coming to the table. It's coming to the forefront. We're actually seeing it more. And I don't know. Things change, man. Everything evolves. Everything evolves. That's why I'm just, look, man, take care of your kids, take care of yourself, take care of your friends.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Hide your wallet.
Hide your wallet. All right, so Nikki, yesterday, I guess where I was intellectually and emotionally was, this is not what we do as Americans, so let's not break up the families, okay? That's yesterday. Today, let's advance the conversation to, we're not solving anything. We're just trying to move the conversation forward and hopefully a nice little nugget, a nice little pearl comes shooting out of.
Here's a little pearl, man. Like I just felt this in my pocket. I was like, what is this? And
this was Valentina's. She had it this morning. I gave it to my mom today, and it was just like, there's your pro. Like, you know what, man? That's life, bro.
There you go.
That's your news. That's what matters. Like, everything could be rough, and I just got this little memorabilia about my little pudding pop who's laid with daddy all last night.
Yes. How many feet in the face did you get?
Just an arm. It was an arm. She smashed.
I know how you feel. I woke up with a paw, a little Yorkie paw on the side of my.
Man, I miss her already. I just do.
But that is important. That is important. So as we're having these discussions, as we're going through the tough issues of the day, of our time. You don't forget that. Don't forget the next time you reach in your pocket and you're getting worked up about either you're getting worked up about Trump, you're focusing it on Trump, or you're getting worked up about the media and the way they're treating Trump. Wherever you are on this, hopefully, when you reach in your pocket or you find that thing, you go, that's right. That's right.
What's in your control? This is listen, man. That stuff's important. I don't want anyone to think that I'm just act like this naive dude who doesn't care. I care. This is something that I can really fix. I got a hand on this, so that I'm going to put my focus on this first, more so than that. And did you guys feel good looking at the picture of the whole beach? Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes. After you gave us a tour, I feel like I should have tipped you after that tour. Do it on a Segway,
and make your own city. There you go. We can put them next to each other, and then we can both play like Rampage and just start stepping on it. That, by the way, that's what Valentina did, but y'all didn't see that. She's like, yeah, she just walked through the whole thing and stepped on it. It was really cute.
Hey, that's why you build them.
You build it to break it down, deconstruct it in your.
Elliot says, my son will put his toy cars in my work shoes sometimes, and I find them in the morning when I put my foot in. He goes, it's the best.
It is. It is.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because I can see a father thinking it's not the best. You got to stick it in there like, stinking kids, pick up your. I guess that was just my dad. It's not all dads.
Yeah.
Johnny Torres, executive order coming today. All right, that's what we were thinking. So let's move this conversation forward to the next step. By all means, please feel free to comment. If you're new to what we're doing here, we keep it cordial, man. You can be left wing, you can be right wing, but keep it cordial, keep it respectful, and we've done pretty good so far in the comment section over these months.
Can we slide to something that we've just yet to talk about? Something that we all seem to struggle with are our personal relationships, like romantic relationships.
Can we do that after this?
Yeah.
All right. So afterwards, you want to talk about personal relationships? Anything in particular that people can get geared up for? Like, do you have a particular question?
No, I want to know what their questions, like what maybe someone's dealing with, something that, what do you think a healthy relationship is, or what? That's something like I don't know if we're able to ever do like a phone call thing, but man, all my friends, all like 4 of them, they call me the Cupid and the relationship dude. And I just feel like I got a pretty good grip on all that and like how to create something that's good. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or I'd love to talk about that. That's something we don't talk about, and that's something that we feel like one thing we all get along with. These songs, like the pain of the heart and the excitement of love and how to keep it going and balance and things of that nature.
And if you want, and if you don't feel comfortable posting it here for everybody to read, you can message him personally and tell him whether or not you want to be anonymous. Go, hey, all right, here's my situation, Cupid.
What do you think it is? Try me. Like just throw it at me and just see what I say. That'd be cool. All
right, but before we move on, let's all get a moment of calm. Oh yeah,
you're so stupid.
He's watching over us. Sorry. All right, so here's my take today, Nikki. Here's where I am today. After having an amazing conversation before the show with Chris and with Chords. And this is a silver lining. So yesterday I'm nervous, right? I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't care how you do it. You're gonna get these families back together. Johnny Torres says executive order coming down today. That's what we were talking about. Is this? I have a feeling that this wasn't going to last long, so I'm glad to see that's happening. But the silver lining that I saw this morning might be because of the brashness, and I know a lot of people don't like the way that the president handles himself. I don't like the way he handles himself. But one of the things that might come out of this is comprehensive reform. Because if it was just as simple as getting in there and changing one line so these kids aren't taken away from their parents, that's great. We're all happy. But then what happens? We all go back to doing nothing. So it still stays. The only issue we resolved is this new issue of kids being taken away from their families. None of the other issues get resolved. So maybe a silver lining that will come out of this moment where America's like, no, this is too much. We draw the line. Maybe the silver lining is this. That's a little gauge there. We go, good. It's good to see that we are going to draw the line at separating kids from their parents. And then as far as everything else that needs to be talked about, I don't have answers for. Chris definitely doesn't have answers for. Cords definitely doesn't have answers for. You don't have answers for. This is something that is very complicated and has been going. It's been in the forefront for decades now. But maybe because the president is the way he is, that this somehow forces more a comprehensive approach to immigration reform and all that good stuff. So there's where I am today, Chris and Johnny and Michael. We the people. I don't want to click on. I'm not just clicking on stuff. I don't know where that's going to go. All right, Chris.
Where is LeBron gonna go? Just trying to switch this up completely.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But I do have a story that we can all have some fun with.
Okay.
And that is President Clinton's alleged illegitimate child.
Y'all heard about this? I'm sorry, man. I think Bill
Clinton's love child.
Oh, Bill
slams the former president for showing compassion for the immigrant children separated from their families, but not for his own abandoned son.
Is there a picture of him?
Oh yeah, let me get this guy up here.
Oh, that's Bill's son's son. Look at that.
Yeah. He first, I think he first popped up in the news like in the late 90s, I think it was, or maybe it was early 2000. But look at that there.
So I wonder how he talks. That'd be great to hear his voice.
Yeah, and I don't know.
He's got a lot of me. He doesn't have it for his own immigrant. That's my bad, Bill Clinton.
Well, he is from Arkansas.
Is he really?
Oh, I think so. So if I remember correctly, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this guy, but
what did you see that?
See what the brawl
massive
thing?
Brawl breaks out. But were you about to talk about that?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's on our list today. It's on our list today. It's on our. It's
just saw it
because this was a huge story this morning on television because of the clip, and everybody, it's gone viral, and it's parents fighting at a 12-year-old softball game,
That's just sick.
And then they show video after video of this stuff happening all the time around America. Yep. And so to me, it was on the backdrop of us separating families, pulling families apart at the border, at the same time showing just how morally awesome we are as as dads are fighting at their daughter's softball game. But we'll come back.
The poor kids, man. It's got to be devastating for them.
So, Chris, let me tell you the story about the alleged story
about Bill
Clinton's love child. Allegedly, back in the day, Bill would go jogging, and he used to I think it was jog by this apartment complex, and he would see this woman he found attractive. I guess this woman also is known to slang some ass on the side. You know what I'm saying? Oh. She, I guess it wasn't the best
She's
part.
A prostitute?
Yeah, it wasn't the best part of town, and if she could make a little money slinging that ass, she was like.
So he was running in the hood. Gotcha. Keep going.
So I don't remember if he paid her or not. I don't remember that detail in the story, but I guess they ended up just dipping into the bushes and going at it. And allegedly, this is what came out of it, I think. Or they had a long-going affair, and eventually this is what came out of it.
Man. What you do in the dark comes out in the light. Remember that.
But somehow the Clintons have been able this entire time to keep him from getting a maternity test to find out if he's really, if that's really his dad. But so that's the story as I remember it going back.
You want to know? I guess the politics. I don't know.
He knows.
I don't know.
Chris, he knows
if he is. Yeah.
That's the thing. Clinton knows. That's why he doesn't want it done. That's why they've paid off.
I feel so bad for the kid. Just again, I can't judge. I don't know what it's like to be Bill Clinton. I just know me, man. If I had a child that was made from me, I would want every bit of me to just know, like, hey, this is your life. Let's figure this out. Like, that's rough for the kid.
Yeah.
It's got to be rough.
Yep. So
and he's not letting it go, obviously.
Well, check your messages to see anybody's sent you some personal problems they need you to fix.
Hey, man, I got you.
All right, so let's get to the story then.
Can you play the clip, or are we not allowed to show that kind of stuff?
Let's see. It's coming from USA Today. I'm going to give USA Today credit, and we'll see what happens here. So,
A massive brawl, they say.
Yeah, it's not
Oh, look at that. Oh, someone fell down the. Oh, whoa. Mom's crying, dad's just, and we're all animals at the end of the day. We're all, look at, he's kicking him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just wrong. Just a quick little kick. That guy's a punk. The guy in the red hat, in the red shirt, he's standing back and gave a kick and just kind of waiting. Look at that. That's just wrong. He's a punk. Look at this. Look at this. Oh.
These are parents at a kid's game.
Look at this. But the thing is once we start, you can't stop. Like, we're animals, man. Look at that poor girl. Everyone's crying. Over what? Just because you're cheering. Just because you live somewhere else. Look at that, tribal. We're all tribal at the end of the day.
Well, it's easy. It's easier.
Y'all and
it's easy to break us down and get us tribal. All you got to do is get us scared, get us riled, and we'll start getting tribal real quickly. We'll start circling the wagons. So anyway, an enormous, unseemly brawl erupted at a youth softball game in Tennessee, leading to a half dozen men throwing punches and rolling around on the ground. How many arrests were there, Chris?
Zero.
Zero arrests. Zero.
The black man's gonna be quiet on this one.
I know. Listen, I'm white, Chris, and it's hard for me to imagine. All right, I can already feel some people's butts, their sphincter going like this.
It's just, look, man. At some point, I just love it. It's just not even. Just call it what it is. I personally think that.
Can you imagine a bunch of cops showing up to something like this, and they're at a basketball court, and they're all black? And nobody's getting arrested.
Dude, do you understand that I literally...
All right, we don't need to turn... All right, we don't... You know what? Because there is no black and white in this, okay? We've said our piece, and we can move on, because we're making it about race.
No, at the end of the day, we just know what it is. We can keep repeating it. It's not even... For whatever reason, black people are scary to a majority of people for whatever reason, whether it's the news, whether it's a person's situation, whether it's truth. For whatever reason, that's just how it goes. Have you seen Alex Ovechkin? Have you been watching him since he won? Ovechkin from hockey?
Yeah, right.
This guy's been acting like, I feel like if that were me doing that, he's been in the pond, spitting out, jugging, be like, just going nuts, like acting. It's like, it's okay. Like,
right. I'm
telling you, man, it's the world we live in. It is what it is. I didn't make it that way.
So what you're saying you're saying if it weren't Ovechkin and if it were LeBron James who were acting like this, they would say, hey, act with more class.
I'm saying, do you remember when Richard Sherman got slapped in the face after, I guess it was the AFC game or whatever, and then started going off on Mike, what's his face, and for the next couple of days, oh, he's a thug, and like, okay, what are you really saying? Like, and this guy's like, angry black dude, and it's just,
it worked.
We ran with that, and everyone ran with that, and it was a big deal. Now this Ovechkin can act like a crazy dude, and it's okay.
All right.
I'm just saying, look, it is what it is. Maybe, you know what I think would have been great, and I think we learn this from now on. You got to fight for me, and I got to fight for you, and we got to fight for women, and vice versa. I think that's how that works. Underground Railroad, there were white people who were fighting for black people to make it okay. So I think when it comes to sexism, men need to stand up for women, because if women do it, you're a feminist. It's the same kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's how we should do that.
I'm oversensitive right now, though. I'm hypersensitive to race. See,
what do you feel? You guys agree to that? Does it kind of make sense? Johnny T could definitely help us out with that. Like, yeah, I think that's how. So from now on, thank you. If that happens, I'll just be quiet and you fight the fight, and if something's said for you, I'll fight for you, and we should all fight for the opposite, so it doesn't get lost in the fray of they're just,
But I also don't want to fall in the trap, because again, this story's not about race at all.
But you made it about race.
I did. I brought it, okay. We did, because
you started it. I said I'm gonna be quiet. You were the one who go back, rewind it. You were the one who said,
fair enough.
Thank you. Don't pull me into that.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Then it's like Adam and Eve. She did it, man. You bit it too, bro. Like, come on.
So you're right on that one, and that goes for all of us in whatever workplace, whatever environment we're in, and sometimes it is not easy because it's uncomfortable. We got to step up for our fellow man and
women
and
children.
When I say man, I mean
I know you
everybody.
mean man, human race. Okay.
All right, so because where I wasn't even thinking race when I first saw this morning or pulled up the story this morning. It wasn't really until because I remembered it echoed in my head that nobody was arrested, and now the kids are going to be punished.
Oh, that means those teams aren't going to be able to. Oh, see.
So here's
another adults messing it up for kids. Another example.
So this is what really upsets me. Not that white people are going to jail. It's knowing that these parents ruined it for their children. So the next couple, I can't remember how many tournaments, but they're not allowed to play. They're not even allowed to play.
They should just let the parents should not be allowed to come.
See, I guess they thought it would be a deterrent. Like we'd say, okay, well, if you parents fight, well, then your kids aren't going to be able to play. Then that would be a deterrent.
And that's the same thing that's happening with the border stuff, yo.
So Stephen Miller says it's a deterrent. If you don't want your child separated from you, then don't approach the border with your child. But there's other bigger things at play, and that logic does not hold any water.
I think they should keep all the men shouldn't, because all the women were trying to stop the fighting, and that's what it looked like. It's all keep the dads away.
Here's the thing. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. Let those kids go play, and the parents aren't allowed in. You can't. But that's not the way it can be in this situation.
But it can. You have the tape. You can see who did it. You know who was it. They can do that. You can police it or bring the cops or order policemen to come at those things then. How about that? You could stop that right away. You have 2 police officers that come, oh, we don't want to pay. Just there you go. That's not going to happen at that point. What are you getting?
Nikki talking about Ovechkin.
What'd she say?
He's a beast. I'd be afraid to tell Ovechkin to stop, LOL. He's not afraid to bust our butts, ha ha ha.
Yeah, that dude's
he is a beast.
Man. He's awesome.
He's like 6'10" or something ridiculous, 6'9", something.
And just big and
or maybe 6'10" on skates. All right. Okay, so enough of that. No, not enough of this. There was a couple of reasons why I brought this story up today, because this kind of stuff is very prevalent in little leagues and Pop Warner and football.
This type of stuff happen every day. Come on, man, talk about it. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever been to a place that you've seen one?
When I was in the 80s. Granted, this is Ocoee in Pine Hills. But I remember this was at the end of a game. We were in a tournament. Do you say tournament or tournament? Tournament.
Right.
We were in a tournament. And
where are we? In the United States?
This is tournament. A tournament.
We're in England. Oh, tournament. All right.
Tournament. Damn tournament. Anyway, it's the end of the game. Bang Bang played the plate. Eric Schaefer, I remember, stole home, and it was Bang Bang. But the guy called him safe, and we were away. We're on their turf. The ump called him safe. Next thing you know, the catcher, who couldn't have been older than 12 years old, turns around and starts putting his finger in the face of the umpire, pushes the umpire. The umpire just wants to get off the field because now everybody's booing him from the stands. He pushes the kid like, one of those get out of, goes like,
yes,
one of those. Boop. The kid didn't fall. Boop. Next thing you know,
Dad.
It was his uncle, come to find out. But yeah, next thing you know, a grown-ass man is flying up over this fence that is, 10 feet tall in this one particular area, flies over this fence, come down like it was almost Spider-Man like, and just squares up to the umpire, whack, and just punches him right out and punches the noses in Pine Hills back in like 1985, 86. So this it's been happening, and let's see.
We had a couple. There was one. We were playing Cedar Key, and we were blowing them out in basketball, and we I'm about to go in. I'm in 10th grade. We're about to check in, and then one of the guys steals and goes for a layup, and then 3 other guys are just maul him. Next thing you know, I can remember like running out, and like a couple guys are pushing one guy on my team, and I'm running out, and my coach is like, no! And I was like, you're a beeline. And they're like, go to the locker room. And then I can remember seeing like parents jumping in the umpires' faces, and then we're in the locker room and they're trying to come in our room, and it was like that. I remember seeing that. I remember a brawl. We played
games,
Bronson,
people. These are games.
Bronson. And I went to a predominantly white school, so it was like Bronson, and they're like in the sticks or whatever. Not trying to, no offense, it's just what it was. And there were a couple guys in the stands who were black dudes, and they were fighting with people in the stands. And next thing you know, like we're walking out to leave, and just hear we had this big Coach Storm. He's a big dude, and next thing you know, these dudes are jumping on Coach Storm. We're running to get the other basketball players. Our players show up. These guys scatter. It was just like, what the? I mean, just again, high school, like testosterone, energy, anger. Issues.
Another one, and it wasn't adults. It was kids, and there was our football team had gone to, like, Pop Warner had gone over to Lyman area in Orlando. And so we were the rednecks, and we were playing. This was all the black kids versus all the white rednecks. And I wasn't playing football. I was the announcer. This was early on in my career when I was I began my career as an announcer.
Young Fish.
Number 55, Jason Fisher coming around the left end, tackled by George. So anyway,
that's awesome.
But I remember after everything was cool, the game was fine. But for some reason, I don't know what happened after the game. We're all leaving the field, and next thing you know, all their cheerleaders are hauling ass across the field. Oh, we had won. And so our girls were like doing somersaults and stuff off the field. And I don't know if, again, I don't know. This is what I see.
You don't know what
I don't know what happened.
Right.
But all I know is that next thing you know, all their cheerleaders are coming across the field, and one of ours was up, her hands were on the ground, legs up like this, and she came right down the middle of her. Right? Boom!
No!
And a fight broke out.
Of course.
But instead, I did not walk that way. I just kept walking.
Okay, like, I want nothing to do with that.
They can handle that. I want to keep going that way. No reason for me to be a hero today.
Yeah, that's just, man, and it's ignorance, man. Just ignore. It's just sad, man. We're just angry people. We're just animals. We're not that evolved as we think we are.
Well, you're right. We're not as evolved as we think we are.
Have you ever been in the world of YouTube where you're just, maybe you can't sleep and you're just like curious, and then you finally are in like some weird vortex where like you're in like middle school brawls and you're just on that video after video, just like kids just fighting each other. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm sure some of the teachers there have stories about kids fighting.
Oh my gosh, Chris, I got a great story about fighting and cussing. Mm-hmm. So this is growing up in Ocoee again. Oh my gosh, this is such great white trash story, great redneck story. Getting off the bus, 2 kids are fighting. We're not even in double digits yet. I think we're like 9-ish. These kids are like 8 or 9. And the moms are there of the 2 children that are fighting. And they're cheering their kids on, right? 8, 9 years old. Well, that's not the end. That's not even the kicker. That's not even the punchline to the story. Not only are these 2 moms egging their kids on.
Did they start fighting?
One of the moms reached down and slaps her own child.
Stop.
In the middle of the fight for cussing. It's okay. All this fight, whatever. The boy, I don't know. I don't know what the boys will be boys. Let them fight it out. But you watch your mouth. And she literally, in the middle of the fight, they were on the ground. One of the little boys, by the way, the boy that cussed, which is the boy that also got slapped, was also the little boy, and again, we were under 10, who was gouging the eye out of the other kid. The mom wasn't stepping in to stop the eye gouge. She stepped in to slap him because he cussed.
That's crazy.
How great is that? But Chris, if I ever write any kind of anything, any kind of movie or television, that is a scene that I got to figure out a way to work in.
That's a good scene.
That is just...
Yeah, I think now it's funny because you tell that story and I start thinking, man, if I could just get to these kids and just start talking about how they're all one big team and like a kid might be different, but you don't know. That's just crazy to me, man.
Well, I don't know what you're doing on August the 4th, but
I know what I'm doing.
Yesterday we had Chris Ward in here and one of his partners, I can't remember that gentleman's name. John. And they are operating the Skills Center here in the Bay Area. And go back to yesterday's show to...
it's a really good show yesterday, man. That was a good one.
And they're doing a lot of good work here in the area, especially in the inner city, and not just giving kids an opportunity a place to go play sports, but also to interact with artists, to learn skills, to study for the SAT. Everything they do everything there, and it's pretty amazing. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Good.
But anyway, they got something coming up on August the 4th that he had thrown out at us yesterday, and on my calendar it said do not schedule anything that day. So I ran it by my scheduler. And she said that we don't have anything on that day, and I can schedule something now. So I want to get a hold of those guys and off. If you're free, Chris,
I know I already am.
You're all right. Then I just want to say, hey, we're free. Is there anything we can do? I don't know if they need us for anything, but I just want to offer that up. But how many kids they say they're already helping?
2,500.
Oh, 2,500 kids a
Gotta
year,
be,
right?
Yeah.
Or is that where they are? They're at
That's where they're at,
2,500.
2,500. They'd like to get to 3,500.
So all right. Chords, I know you're watching. Please text me his number when you get a second.
Chris Ward.
Chris Ward. And then we'll see if we can help them out in any way.
He just came in. So I think I sing telephone. It's happy and nice and,
Have you checked your messages? Does Cupid?
Oh, well, no, I haven't. You'll be home and I'll be on the road. That's like in my head at this point. Let's see, man.
I got, we went through all the stuff that I really wanted to talk about today.
Oh, Deirdre just said I have a gig the night of the 4th.
Okay, we'll find out whether it's a day thing or a night thing that they're doing.
I'm going to ask her where.
Thank you, Chords.
Oh, I think I'm at the Hard Rock. I think we can make it work, man.
Is that your next show at the Hard Rock? Or you got one before then?
You mean in August? I got a lot of shows before.
Oh, okay.
No, tonight I'm at
well, I mean your full band show.
Oh, that's the 28th
of July.
Okay. So yeah, 9 to 1. I'm at the Hard Rock. Tonight I'm going to be at Krabby Bill's in Indian Rocks. Haven't been there in a little while, so that's cool. A little afternoon, 6 to 10. Playing all the songs that I know, which is going to be cool. Tomorrow I'll be in Kelly's in Dunedin at 7 o'clock. It's ladies' night, girls' night out, so all you ladies come hang out. Friday I will be at the Hard Rock this Friday in Council Oak.
Where's your best schedule? Is it on your website or on your Facebook page?
It's a good website, but you can go to Facebook as well. Okay. I mean, a little bit of everything.
So Facebook, that's Chris McCarty Music. Chris McCarty Music.
Yes, and then on Saturdays, my son's 6th birthday.
Congratulations, Papa.
Oh man, he's so great. So let's sing his favorite song, which is Daddy's song. We'll sing for him.
And I'm gigging. I'm gigging over the next 3 days as well. Tonight, downtown St. Pete, karaoke from 8 until midnight. That's at Park and Rec. Very cool facility. If you haven't been there yet, I'm sure you've heard about it by now. On tomorrow night, Thursday night, Masteries Trivia, St. Pete Beach. Blind Pass starting at 7 o'clock, and then on Friday night, Cosmic Bowl, baby. I'll be giving away. Be playing the music and giving away prizes every 15 minutes at Maple Lanes Countryside, and that is this Friday night, starting at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Cosmic Bowl, $14 all you can bowl. Thank you so much for another great show, ladies and gentlemen. Chris McCarty.
Used to walk this road alone. I'm so used to being lonely. Where I rest my head is home. I ain't never met no one like me. Tonight in Tennessee, one drink turned to two, to let to be getting lost in your baby blues. I'm living one-way life, I'm the lights up all night, every night. Though I wish I had my eyes on you, be home and I'll be on the road. We'll be talking on the telephone, hear it in your voice when you start to cry. Hold my breath when you say goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 ooh. Bye, 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 ooh. It's 2 a.m. and you look good. What's a picture on a cracked screen? God, I'd hold you if I could. You made me wanna tell you bad things that make it blush red. Heart skipping beats, stay in my head with the secrets under your sheets. Just one more night, just one more flight, losing my mind till I get my hands on you. Be home and I'll be on the road. We'll be talking on the telephone, hear it in your voice when you start to cry. Hold my breath when you say goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 ooh. Bye, 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 ooh.
Johnny, you made me a man. You're the greatest gift that ever happened to me. I love you more than anything, my son. I'll always be there for you, always, always.
The hello goodbyes and I dry your eyes when I realize that there'll never be no one like you. You, never be no one like you. You, never be no one like you. Be home and I'll be on the road. We'll be talking on the telephone. Hear it in your voice when you start to cry. Hold my breath when you say goodbye. You'll be home and I'll be on the road. We'll be talking on the telephone. Hear it in your voice when you start to cry. Hold my breath when you say goodbye. Bye, 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 my, ooh. Bye, 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 my, ooh. Happy birthday, son. I love you.
Thank you, Mr. McCarty. Thank you, Chris McCarty. Thank you so much for being a part of the Wake.Show. You guys have a great day. We'll do this again tomorrow and all that good stuff.